Astrology After Dark. I am going to go over how to read and understand your natal chart using the natal healing method. Okay. And so, if you are going through divorce and you are looking for a way to help you to navigate the 5 stages of divorce, then stay tuned because tonight's episode is definitely for you. And so, if you are new to me, to my channel, to any of my content on social media land, my name is kkatrice, and I am the Natal Chart Navigator. I am a divorce recovery strategist, and I teach divorced women how to use their natal chart to emotionally balance themselves and move through the 5 stages of divorce faster and with grace and ease. Okay. And so let's jump into it. Okay. And so we're talking about um, using my natal healing method to how to understand read and understand your natal chart using my natal healing method. Okay. Now, if you are new to astrology, okay, the first thing you want to do is you want to go and pull your natal chart through astro.com. It is absolutely free. There is a tutorial on my homepage under the campus tour section. You can go there and you can pull your birth chart for absolutely free. Okay. And tonight's episode is brought to you by my natal healing method. Okay, it is sponsored by my natal healing method. And so, if you have not gotten your free copy of my natal healing method framework ebook, then you can click the link in the description to get your copy of that. Okay. All right. So now, if you're brand new, you need to go to astro.com and pull up your chart. Okay. You will need your time of birth, your date of birth, and your place of birth in order to pull an accurate chart. However, if you do not know the exact time of your date of birth and you have a roundabout time, you can put that time in. It may not be accurate as far as your rising sign, but everything else should be pretty accurate. Okay. Now, when you pull your chart, it's a wheel. Okay, you're gonna see like this big circle. Okay, and I am going to share my screen in a moment and actually show you a natal chart, what it looks like, and go through each part of the chart. Okay, and so well, let's go ahead and do that now instead of waiting to do that. Let me go ahead and share my screen here so that I can break down a chart for you. Give me one moment. Okay. Let me get it pulled all up. I did have a chart up, but I decided to, at the last minute, look at a different chart. Okay. Okay. And so let me share my screen here. Okay. So let's see, can you see mine here? It's not showing. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, here is a natal chart. Okay, and it has 12 houses. You see that each of the houses are numbered. Okay, 1 through 12. Okay. And so each sign, there's 12 signs, and so there's one sign on each house. Okay, now when you pull your chart in astro.com, you will need to go in and make changes and make sure you get you put the chart in whole sign houses. That is the house system that you're going to want to pull your chart in, because if you're following any of my content works with the whole house system. It does not work with Placidus. And if you don't know the difference between Placidus and whole signs, there is a video on the channel under the Astrology Basics module playlist. You can go there to understand the difference between whole signs and Placidus. But if you're going to be using the natal healing method, it is based on the whole sign houses system. Okay. And so, but this is a chart. Okay. And so like I was saying, 12 houses, and then there's one sign on each house. Okay. And then you have your planetary placements. Okay. Now there's a lot of different placements. Okay. But these are just the major placements here that I have pulled up on this chart. Um, and so they'll be in the houses. Degrees do matter. And so now when you first start learning astrology, um, degrees won't be something that you focus on, because you're gonna be focusing on the basics, learning the houses and the signs and the planetary energies. Okay, so excuse me, you are going to focus on that before you start focusing on the degrees. Now, once you get a good grip of the concept of the basics of astrology, then you can step it up and start focusing on degrees and things like that. Okay. All right. So this is the wheel here. Okay. Now let me see here. Um, Now, me, when natal healing method, it consists of five. Let me get my notes here, because I don't want to go topic. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know I can definitely go off on a tangent. And so I want to make sure that I stay on track. I do not want to go off on a tangent. I want to make sure I stay on track to get this valuable information out to you. Okay. And so when it comes to the method, okay, each letter in natal stands for a step in the process. Okay. So the first step is the N, okay, and that is the natal placements. Okay. So that one is learn your natal placements and how they influence you, and how you operate. Okay. And so your natal placements are very, very important. They are the foundation um, to your whole astrology learning. Okay. And so now some people say when they are teaching astrology, I've seen some teachers say you learn the planets first. I've seen some say you need to learn the signs first. Others say the houses first. I've also heard that the signs and the houses, that the houses are the original houses of certain signs. And That's not true. Okay. The houses and the signs are two totally separate entities, separate from each other. They do have some similarities, but they are not interdependent or on each other. Okay. To function, they function as separate entities. That's first of all. Okay. Now, for me personally, when I am teaching the method, I teach for you to start at the start learning the houses. Okay. So you want to learn what does each house mean first. Okay. Because if you take away the planets, you have the chart and you just have the houses. Okay. You got to know what each house stands for, because each house is a different area of your life. Okay. The first house is the house of you. It represents the holder of the chart. Okay. So it represents you. Okay. And then from there, it's different areas of your life. So money, your siblings and community, communication, your home, your family, your creativity, your children. Um, Sixth house is your daily work, your routines, your this is where sickness and illness can be found. Pets. This is committed relationships, business partnerships, collaborations. This here is debt, trauma. This here is higher, not higher learning, and foreign travel. This is the career and your public legacy. This here is where you go for your like your networking, your friends, and then this here is where you can find self sabotage. Here you can find places that are hidden. It's the last house. Okay, so it's the last house. It's like everything is in the one, right, in the 12th house. Okay, so you you want to learn the houses first because you need to understand exactly what each house represents, as everything really the base of your of your studies, the base of you actually using the chart comes from the houses. Okay, and then I teach to learn the signs next. Okay. And the reason I teach for you to learn the signs next is because that is the energy that everything will be expressed through. Okay. So as you can see here in the first house on this chart, it has Leo. Okay. This here is for Leo. Okay. And so the first house, you, it stands for not just you, your physical body, but your outward outward appearance and your personality. Okay, that is going to be expressed through the energy of Leo. Okay, this is your rising sign. Okay, and so so you need to know that energy to know how you are going to express yourself, because that is the energy that people will first receive when they meet you. Okay, that is the very first energy that they will encounter when they meet you. Okay, so you need to know how you are going to express yourself to the outside world, right? Okay, and then so you need to learn the signs, right? So you know how that energy is going to be expressed. Okay, just like here in the second house, here you have second house is your money, your personal possessions. It's how you make money. Okay, so this is your career, and this is how you make your money within that career. Okay, and so this here second house has Virgo on it. Okay, and so this would suggest that you making money would be in a way where you can serve, where you can help people, because Virgo is an energy of helping people, right? It's a very serving energy, and so that is how the best way that this person would be able to make money, right? Okay, and so you do that for each one of the houses. Okay, and then I teach to look at the placements. Okay, you want to understand the placements, because that represents how you think, who you are at your core. Um, it represents how you love, how you receive, how you take action, how you give, your emotional self, your creativity, um, your blessings, okay, your restrictions, your transformation. And so uh, your spirituality. And so you want to learn your placements, okay? Um, because you once you learn those placements, then you have to learn, okay, how will this be expressed? Okay, so let's take this fifth house here in this chart. Okay, so you have how will this energy be expressed? How will my emotional energy be expressed? Um, and how will it affect this area of life? So in this chart, the moon, which is your emotional energy, okay, um, and it's how you what you need to feel safe and secure emotionally. It's in the fifth house. Fifth house is the fun house, and it's the house of joy, of children. Okay, joy, gambling, foods that you eat, not just to sustain you, but foods that you enjoy eating. Okay, um, so having Sagittarius on this house with the moon here, Sagittarius energy is an energy of the adventurer. It likes to travel. It likes to, especially foreign travel. Okay, it likes to enjoy, have really fun, enjoyable experiences, um, and so emotionally will be somebody who um, when you're stressed or when you're going through something, your emotions are off balance, you may need to just go take a little trip. You might need to go take a drive, or take a trip. You hear about people, they'll go through something and they'll just book a plane ticket and just go. You know, they could very well have their moon in Sagittarius, and that is what they need to get themselves back centered, to feel emotionally safe and secure when they are going through it. Travel helps them to clear their mind, to get their emotions back centered. Okay. And so also they could be someone who has a really great bond with their children. Okay, because the moon, which represents maternal energy, that nurturing energy, is in the fifth house of children. Okay, um, and so you want to understand how that placement will affect the house. Okay, and so then moving on to the next step in the method is to assess the aspects of your natal placements and how the relationship between the placements show up in your life. Okay. Now, as you can see here on this chart, this represents Mars and this represents Uranus. Okay. And they are all conjunct the moon, which is your emotions, right? And so, and they're all in the fifth house, the house of children. Okay. And so having your moon conjunct your Mars can make somebody who is very, very, don't play about their kids, right? Like their children are very important to them, and they don't mind doing what they need to do to protect their children. Okay. Um, This here can also have it to where you, like, children may just be very drawn to you, because it's just something, you have that maternal energy, that children are just drawn to you. They really like being around you. It can make you somebody that's very playful, very childlike. And so kids can relate to you because you know how to relate to them, right? Um, and so these, when you have your placements that are really close like this, okay, it makes for them to be what's called junction. Okay. Now there's five major aspects. Okay. Five major aspects. And last night's episode of Astrology After Dark, I went over the three most challenging aspects. So you can go and take a look at that. But it's the square, which is 90 degrees apart. The planets are 90 degrees apart. The opposition, where they are 180 degrees apart. And then the conjunction, where they are within 10 degrees apart. Okay. And so these here are conjunct. Okay. Now, my Neptune and my Venus, because this is my chart, my Neptune and my Venus here are 90 degrees apart. And so they are at a square aspect, which to me, the square aspect is the most challenging aspect of the three. But everybody has their own opinion as far as, and it really just depends on the configuration of your chart. Because if you have a lot of ops in your chart, that can be really challenging as well. Okay. So you want to assess your aspects and see how the relationship between them, flow. So the best way for you to do that is to understand the energies that the placements are in. Okay, like so for example, with my Venus square my Neptune. Okay, these energies are totally different. Virgo energy is a very practical energy. It is very efficient. It analyzes things before it makes any types of decisions. Okay. Now, when it comes to Venus, Venus is, money and love. And okay. Now, this planet, Venus, does not like being in Virgo. It is actually in its fall position. It doesn't like being in Virgo. And if you go to the astrology basics, I have I believe it's a video on there where I am talking about um, the the condition of the planets. So Venus does not operate well in the sign of Virgo. However, it is in the second house, so that does help out because it loves being in the second house. Because what the second house is like the money and your values house, and that is some of the things that Venus represents. So you will, it does help give it a boost, right? But you have to understand Virgo is very detail oriented. It's practical energy. It doesn't like to take risk unless it's thoroughly calculated, and it Virgo energy likes to control. Really, all Earth energy, which is Taurus and Capricorn as well, likes to be in control of their reality. Okay, and so when they're not able to be in control, that doesn't it really rocks Earth energy, right? But then you have Neptune, which is the planet of rose-colored glasses and delusion and creativity. And so, um, in the sign of Sagittarius, okay? And so Sagittarius is a very optimistic energy. It's a fire energy, so it is very action oriented. But it can also be kind of scattered energy as well, and it really only looks at the big picture. It is not a detailed person, a detailed energy, whereas Virgo energy is a detailed energy. So there's where that conflict comes in. Okay, and so when you have Neptune to square your Venus like this, um, it makes it's two energies that are very incompatible, are very different. Okay, and so it makes you have to work really harder to when it comes to the things of this, not just this house, when it comes to things of this Venus, it can make you a little delusional in those things. It can make you have on rose colored glasses. It can make things appear better than what they really are. And so you want to, that is something that you really have to be careful with. Okay. Now, last night I talked about how you can use those challenging aspects to your advantage in your divorce recovery. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's really, really good, really informative on using your negative, what's perceived as negative or challenging aspects. It really helps you to move forward. Okay, because it prompts you to have to take action. Okay, to get over the challenge. Now, the other two aspects, main aspects, are the trine and the sextile. Okay, the trine is when they are within the same element. Okay, so like a trine would be Venus, Virgo, and then Capricorn, and then Taurus. Okay, so if I had planets, like I have Chiron here in Taurus, and then Venus down here, so it's a house-based trine, not a degree-based trine. Okay. Um, so, and then I have my south node here in Capricorn. Okay. And so these energies would flow harmoniously. Okay, because they are in sign-based trines. Okay, so trine energies are where the energy flows beautifully, and a lot of times, like if you have somebody who has a lot of trines and sextiles, which is more favorable energies, favorable aspects. When they have more of those, it can sometimes make you lazy because you don't really have to do a whole lot of work to get the energy to flow. It kind of just flows. And you have to really maximize and capitalize on those trying aspects. You have to be cognizant of making sure that you are really utilizing the energy and directing that trying flow-based energy to how you want it, and not just letting it free flow, if that makes sense. Okay. And then sextiles are where they're like 60 degrees apart, and those are energies that flow together really well. Okay. And so I'll do a video where I go more in depth on trines and sextiles, but check out the challenging energies video, the live from last night. Okay. And so then the third step of the natal healing method is that you understand the impact of transits on your natal placements and how to use them to make decisions and or take action. Okay. And so let me see if I can add some transits real quick so you can see what that looks like. Okay. So this here is the my natal chart. Okay. And this here, this outer one is the outer wheel. Okay, this is the transits. Okay, so this right here is showing you currently Pluto is in Aquarius. It just went into Aquarius. And then we have Mercury is conjunct Pluto. The sun is here in Aquarius. So we have 3 planets here in Aquarius. Mars will be moving next week, I think on the 12th, into Aquarius. So we'll have 4 planets. And then the moon will be moving into Aquarius on the 9th, because we do have the new moon coming up February 9th. So in 2 days, okay, that'll be 5 planets. And then Venus will be moving in, I think, on the 16th. And so then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, so that's going to be a lot of Aquarius energy here. And so wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, definitely tomorrow I'm going to go over the new moon. I'm going to do a new moon in Aquarius. We're going to talk about it and how we harness that and capitalize on that energy, setting our intentions and things. So definitely check in for that. Okay. But this is the transits. Okay. So when it comes to the transits, right, you want to learn, you want to focus on how are these energies here affecting this of life as they go. Now, if you have planets, so in this house, it will activate those planets as well. Now, like for example, if these planets were down here in the 5th house, they would be activating my 5th house planets. Okay. And when I say activating, meaning that it can, cause some type of a change, or have something to happen, give like an energetic boost to my natal placement energies. Okay. And so that's what the transits do. And so you want to pay attention to how those how those transits affect you, especially the moon transits. Okay, moon and Mercury transits, your personal placement transits, um, which are your big six. So your sun and your moon and your rising, your Mercury, your Mars, and your Venus. Okay, those are your big six because those are personal planets to you, and those energies affect you more personally than the other placements you see here in the wheel. And so you want to make sure that you are understanding how these transits, when they shift energies and come in contact with your natal placements, how would they affect you? How can you use those energies to help you to move through the 5 stages of divorce? Okay. Um, and so I'm going to stop sharing because I don't need the chart for the next few steps. Okay, so we have two more steps. And so step 4, the other A in the method, is to apply steps 1 through 3 daily to get in tune with yourself, your emotions, and to step into your new identity. Okay, so the one thing that I want you to understand about your natal chart is that once you pull your natal chart and you really look at your chart and you really start to see why you operate the way you do, why you express yourself the way you do. If there's any challenges going on in your life or things you've been trying to get over or fix or heal, or why has it been so challenging for you to do that? Okay, when you really tap into your natal chart, you are really tapping into the energy of you, right? As above, so below. And so as the energies in the sky was at your date, at the time, place, and date of your birth, that is now here below. Okay, and so those energies that are in you are needed for you on your life journey. Okay, and so you want to apply these 3 steps daily, right? And so you have learned the placements. Okay, um, then you will know how they operate. But you are constantly going to go back to looking at the aspects of it, right? Because the aspects will affect the aspects will affect your natal placements as well. Because like right now, Mercury is in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, my natal Mercury is in the sign of Libra. Those are element in sister element energies. Okay, and so Mercury being conjunct Pluto is affecting, it has an impact on my natal Mercury. Okay, and so the aspects and the transits, those 2 steps, I said those 2 steps you want to definitely apply daily, because they affect you, right? And not saying that you got to pull up your chart every single day. However, when I say that, like, you may not look at the aspects that day, but you um, may look at the transits, look and see where the moon is, right? Because the moon moves so quickly, like every 2 days it's shifting, and the moon affects your emotional energy. Okay, and so if you are in the process of recovering from divorce, your emotions are not stable, right? You just experienced a form of death. And so your emotions are not stable and you are grieving. And so you want to know and pay attention, right? Pay attention to how you feel when the moon is in certain signs, okay? Because that will tell you a lot about where you are going to be at emotionally, okay? And so, like for me, when the moon is in Scorpio, it's not easy. It's not easy. Matter of fact, it was just in Scorpio over the weekend. That was some heavy energy. It was really heavy, and I was like, man. But I didn't do 4. Normally I go and I check every couple of days. I check where the moon was. Well, I have had a lot going on, so I haven't like really checked to see where the moon has been. I've had a lot going on, and so I did. And then when I on Sunday when I did, I was like, well, where is the moon then? And when I saw that the moon had been in Scorpio, I think it was like the second through the fourth, or the second through the fourth. It was in Scorpio, and I was like, oh my gosh, this makes total sense as to why um, my emotions were, the way that they were for the past few days. And so then when the moon shifted into Sagittarius, it was a lot better. Okay, the energy was a lot lighter. It was a lot better, and I was able to start bouncing back from that Scorpio moon transit. Because it's Scorpio energy is very intense energy for me. Now, for you, you may have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, and so you're used to the Scorpio energy. But for you, it might be, that air energy. When the moon is in air energy, it's just too much for you, right? It's not an easy energy for you to be in when it comes to your emotions, right? And so once you start really applying step 4, then you really start to understand yourself much better and know how to navigate the energies. Now, oh my, well, I was just going to say something that totally slipped my mind. Okay. Oh, that's what it was. So you're going to want to get a journal. And I think I've said this before. I'm pretty sure I have, because I love journaling. Okay. I know I talked about it last night, but you're going to want to get a journal so that you can write down how you feel, right? How you feel, but not only how you feel when the moon is in certain energies, when you have placements that are, having their return periods, which is where when the planet comes back to where it was at your time of birth. Those are called returns. You may have heard of solar returns, which is your birthday. Okay. And so how do you feel when the sun gets back to where it was when you were born? Okay. A lot of people feel really good. The sun is shining on them, and they are, another year older and, wiser. And so they, that's a solar return, right? And you can predict, or see the energies of your upcoming year. There's a chart you can pull to do that. Okay. But once you like journal how you feel, because that journaling will help you can go back and look and be like, oh, okay, so every time the moon was in this energy, this is what had happened. And so then you're able to better prepare yourself for that transit. Okay. And you can do this for all the transits. Okay. You can do it for when the sun moves in certain signs. Like for me, when the sun moves in Capricorn, I be hyped, right? Because I love Capricorn energy. When the sun moves in Capricorn, it'd be about their business, right? When the sun is in Sagittarius, it's time to party, baby. Right? So it's like you learn the energies, okay? And then the fifth and final step of the natal healing method is you once you apply all the other 4 steps, okay, and you are consistent and diligent with this, then you will liberate yourself from your old broken identity and emerge aligned with your true self. Okay. And so that's the whole goal, right? For you to use the tool of astrology and your natal chart in order for you to get yourself to a place where you feel whole, you no longer feel broken, and you emerge and you are a totally new being. Okay. You are no longer the person who you were. You're no longer that version of you. Okay. You're still you, but you're just a more evolved version of yourself. And that's the whole goal, is for this to help you to evolve and to move through the 5 stages of divorce faster, with ease and grace. Okay. And so that is the natal healing method. Okay. That is how you can to help you get to heal and after divorce. Okay. And so I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Astrology After Dark. And I so appreciate you joining me. If you watch this live, put hashtag live. And if you are watching this on the replay, then put hashtag replay. Okay. Now, I invite you to actively engage with tonight's cosmic conversation, because here at Understanding You University, we dive deep into aligning with your true nature and your personal odyssey of self-understanding and empowerment. Okay. So embrace this opportunity to align your actions, your decisions, and your life with the energies of the universe that are inside of you. Okay. Now, if you found this video useful, helpful, or insightful, please do give it a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit as well. Okay. Once again, I would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. So please don't forget to leave a comment below. Okay. And so now, if you have started on your divorce recovery experience and would like a roadmap to help with navigating your experience, then you can grab my free natal healing method framework ebook. And then I explain the first 3 steps of the method, which are the foundation of the method. And then I give tips on how you can start to utilize each step. Okay. So if you would like for me to break down exactly what houses you should focus on for healing using the natal healing method, then you should book a recorded energetic healing reading with me. The link to my link tree for the ebook and to book your reading is in the description of this video. Okay. And so until next time, remember that possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, you can definitely hold it in your hand. And that should make you smile, because you're the one that creates your own reality. Have a good one.